Hi everyone, I thought I would take a bit of time today just to play up to my curmudgeonly persona and have a good old-fashioned whinge. So this isn't going to be anything hard-hitting. It's not even really related to journalism. It's just an opinion that I'm going to put on my YouTube channel. And, you know, if you don't like it, you know what to do. You give it this. If you like it, you give it that. If you want to call me a fucking retard, you can, you know, whatever. But we're coming up to the most wretched day in the esports calendar. It's a day that I truly wish I was completely removed from the internet, more so than usual, and that is of course April Fool's Day. And you all know what's coming, a bunch of cringe-worthy jokes, an advertising campaign, you know, aren't we fun, aren't we so funny? It's a full day of that, and I hate it. Now, April Fool's Day in general, I've got plenty of reasons to dislike April Fool's Day. So the first thing was, when I was a kid, I went to school with another kid. I mean, turns out kids go to school with each other. You don't go to, I shouldn't even say that, should you? You don't go to school with adults. But anyway, there was this kid, and he never talked. He had, like, emotional problems, and he used to get bullied quite a bit. Not by me, you know, I wasn't a bully at school. That apparently came much later in life. But you know, whenever he didn't help himself, because whenever you tried to break the barriers down and talk to him, he would tell the most outrageous lies, Like, there we were all 12 years old, and he used to say things like, I taught Ryan Giggs everything he knows about football. Despite Ryan Giggs being, I don't know, about 5 years older than us all. Well, like, okay. My uncle's Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know? Just outrageous lies. Anyway, when I was older, you know, started interacting with parents and adults, we found out the terrible, tragic truth about our old friend who'd since moved on. He didn't go to college. He wasn't really equipped. And that was on April Fool's Day. As a very, very young kid, his dad we went down, like, clutching his chest, and he'd had a heart attack. And he was saying to his kid who was in the kitchen, I think it was, with him, go get your mum, go get your mum, go get your mum. It's bad, you know. So he runs off to get his mum, who's in the garden, on, you know, putting the washing on the line or whatever. And the kid's going, oh, you know, Dad says he's having a heart attack. And his mum's going, he's just messing about. It's April Fool's Day, he's just messing about. Anyway, by the time she realised that something was wrong, that sort of those vital moments had passed, and his dad died. So, you know, you can imagine, can't you, how that would affect you. So, never really liked April Fool's Day anyway. You know, like, just, what a load of shit. You know, what is it? You can only play a prank anyway, like, up until 12 o'clock. It's from midnight till 12-hour window. Is it really, you know, is it really worth it? But I'll tell you another story, and this really sums up why I don't like it. Because the problem with April Fool's Day is it's fucking advertised, so we all know when it's come in. It's like, oh, it's April the 1st, April Fool's Day, right? It's there in big neon flashing letters, April Fool's Day. So you don't believe anything that anyone says, especially when it's so obviously stupid and so obviously bullshit. And I want you to think about that, because, you know, I used to have a mate called Bestie. We used to call him that because he looked like George Best. George Best in his prime, not George Best at the end. He used to live in Bolton, and he went to this cinema to see The Usual Suspects, the film. And as they were queuing up, you know, in the cinema, you got all the posters on the walls. And do you remember the poster for Usual Suspects? You know, they were all in the police line out, all the actors. And as they were queuing up, he looked over at the poster, and someone in black marker pen had drawn an arrow above Kevin Spacey's head and wrote, "It's him." in black marker pen. And Bestie's thinking, what the fuck? What's all this? Like, what does that mean? Anyway, they get in, and of course, when, you know, Spacey's there going, oh, Agent Kuyan, how do you know about Kaiser Soze and all this? And they're all just looking at each other going, it's fucking him! It's him! So they had one of the best moments in cinematic history, the birth of the twist movie, completely ruined because of some cunt with a marker pen. And that, for me, is April Fool's Day in a nutshell. The fact that the day is advertised is the cunt with the marker pen. For me, A far better option at this point would be if you had an absolutely ridiculous announcement to make, and it could wait, it wasn't time sensitive. Save it for April Fool's Day, and at least it's a double bluff. You get people thinking, it fucks with their head. But as it stands, it's just like, yeah, alright, cool, yeah, and it's divorced from meaning. I've said this many a time. I don't know if we could maybe at the start of the year, I don't know, play a game of roulette and we're like, hey, everyone, well, April Fool's Day is on November the 6th, you know, and then at least some people might forget and get caught out with the hoaxes. But no, as it stands, it's just an awful attritional slog. And the thing is, like, you know, the jokes are just always really crap. And especially in esports, where it's like comedy hasn't really took root at all. It's just this, like, all the jokes are really bad. Like, I urge you to just Google some of the esports April Fool's Days. They're awful. Absolutely awful. I remember when I was at the website Cadred, one year they announced that their gaming organisation was picking up a chess team. You know, big statement about, you know, chess is the original esports and stuff. Awful. Just awful. Now, a good example of an April Fool's Day in esports done right was the Earth mode in League of Legends. Ultra Rapid Fire, that stands for, if you don't play the game. And it was built up, you know, by Riot as being this, you know, super evolution of gameplay. You know, they really played it tongue-in-cheek and described it in this ridiculous fashion. But what makes it brilliant is they actually fucking made it. They made the game. They didn't just say we're going to and then like, psych, April Fool's Day. They actually made it. And it was fucking great. It was like the most fun you could probably have playing League of Legends. It certainly beat the hell out of solo queue, no doubt about it. It was actually fun to play. It was hilarious to play. You could get absolutely stomped and just laugh your ass off the entire time. It was fun. You know, helicopter hecker him. It was brilliant. Like, you know, the ridiculous Alistair, just permanent CC. So funny. So much fun. And when they took it away, everyone went crazy. They went batshit about it. They were like, you've got to leave that in. You've got to leave that in. It's too good to take away. And it was the most requested thing to add every patch. We want Earth mode back, please, Righto, please. And that's because they actually made something that was really astute, actually, like quite and really well executed. I think people were expecting, much like I do, to be disgustingly underwhelmed every April Fool's, and what we got was something that was really good, a good product in its own right. If Riot introduced a subscriber mode now, where you had exclusive access to Earth 24/7 around the clock, they'd make a killing. That's how good it was. So anyway, the problem you've got is that when one company does an April Fool's joke, and they do, and they plan these things, and they have honestly, they have meetings about it, like content strategy meetings. How are we going to play our April Fool's joke? Which anyone in the right mind is going to click on and go, and just, you know, that's it. They put all this effort in. They put all this pre-planning in. I'll tell you a little bit why in a second. But because they know that one company's going to do it, everybody feels the need to do their own. So everyone's like, oh, well, they're probably going to do one. They've done one the last 3 years. We better do one. You know, we don't want to lose this battle in the esports space, the constant fight for relevancy. But it's April Fool's. It's not that important, but they make it important. And it's just this, like, wretched game of one-upsmanship. Who can have the best April Fool's joke when in actual fact the bar is set so low anyway? It's ridiculous to even aim and aspire to that standard. Now, why do they do it? So, there's this thing in esports, as social media started becoming more prevalent and prominent, and things like YouTube started taking off, and the, you know, ever-climbing success of Reddit, people wanted to do what, you know, go viral. And us in esports that were always really behind the curve on the growth of social media and marketing, because there's not really a lot of expertise in esports as a whole, you know, not even in that industry. We used to sit and we used to watch things that would go viral, actually make it to be like the last story on the news or whatever, and we go, man, if only an esports video could do that, if only something about esports could do that, we'd all be millionaires, we'd all be so popular, everyone would think we were great. So this whole idea about going viral just is centered to so much that happens in esports. Like, let's make some funny videos, let's do this, let's do that. But on April Fool's Day, it just really is overkill. Pretty much every year I've worked in esports, it's just a bombardment of shitty content and half-baked ideas, none of which are going to go viral because they're all garbage. And the point is, out there in the real world, real companies with real resources and better ideas, they're doing April Fools as well. So it does take a lot to sort of trump the people. Not that they should be doing it either, really. You know, we need to revise April Fool's Day as a human concept, in my opinion. Like I say, we need to just randomise it or something. But anyway, I can't cure that from my prominent, lofty position as an esports journalist. But, you know, I want you to remember about the Ice Bucket Challenge bullshit we had in esports. As soon as the Ice Bucket Challenge started going viral, you know, and I, gotta be honest, and again, oh, Richard, you're such a fucking grouch, you're such an arsehole. I was watching the Ice Bucket Challenge in general thinking, oh, really? Like, you're throwing a bucket of water over yourself, you're not donating any money to charity, and you're doing it predicated on the basis of raising awareness. But what are you really raising awareness about? Half of the people I know, I was like, what's this Ice Bucket Challenge about? I don't know. It's, what, like, charity or something? Yeah, which charity? No, I don't know. Nobody was talking about what it was actually the purpose of. And people were appropriating this charity to promote themselves. You put a video up in a YouTube channel doing an Ice Bucket Challenge, it gets 3 million hits, it's monetized. You donating that money to charity? I'm not too sure you are. So when the Ice Bucket Challenge came to esports, I was like, oh God, here we go. And what happened? Exactly what I knew was going to happen. So you'd get like, I won't name organisations, but you get a team and they'd go, tee hee hee hee, here's my water on my head, hee. Like, really crap, like, not even an ice bucket. Half of these Ice Bucket Challenges had no fucking ice. There was no ice to be found. It was just the water challenge. Not even that, the lukewarm water challenge. What is that? It's shit, that's what it is. And they were doing it like, a cup this big. Oh no. Moisture. Right, now I nominate everybody else in my organisation. Really? Fucking brilliant. So you just have this like snowball effect of organisations trying to have constant limelight, and everywhere on Reddit, you know, Player 1 does the Ice Bucket Challenge, Player 2 has entered the game, Ice Bucket Challenge, nominates all of his teammates, the other 3 teammates rock in, Ice Bucket Challenge, then we nominate the manager, he does an Ice Bucket Challenge. Is there anyone in the organisation, do you want to do an Ice Bucket Challenge? You wrote news for us once, you do it. It was fucking stupid. It was ridiculous. But, oh, we all want to go viral. We all want to go viral. And that's why, you know, this esports, it's already begun. At the time of recording this video, I think I've already seen one. It's not even April Fool's Day where I am yet, and I've seen one. It's there. It's just horrid. So, you know, honestly, the final thing, just to say, because I've got to get out of this, I don't want to make it a long video at all, because then it's like, wow, you really spent like an hour talking about April Fool's Day. But I probably could go in deep on how much I actually dislike it. And I'm still thinking about the dark story from my school right at the start and thinking, did I really set the tone? Should I have ended with that? Like, I don't know. But anyway, I might edit it out, who knows. But look, April Fool's Day in esports is really redundant anyway, and I'll tell you why. Because the other 364 days of the year are so ridiculous anyway. They're so ridiculous. Think about some of the announcements that go around. Like, just think about some of the shit that actually happens in esports. Think about the companies that come in and make these, like, sweeping statements, like Trig at the moment. You know, they're going, we're reinventing everything. Our media portfolio is unparalleled. We're going to completely change the landscape. Every company who comes into esports and goes, we're going to pioneer this and we're going to change this, they're bust. ESGN, Cloud, all of that bullshit. It's just, they come in, they talk a good game, they waste their money, they don't get any more marketing budget or venture capital because they have nothing to show for it at the end, and then they fuck off. And there's a million stories like that, and they're all hilarious. There is nothing more funny than a bunch of people who peddle the idea that they've got the answers, getting burned and going, you know, going bankrupt. I think that's kind of funny. That for me is just something to be absolutely mindful of, because ultimately there are just It's April Fool's Day every day in esports, isn't it? It's an industry of fools. We don't need to make jokes. Like, the reality is, we've got plenty of material the rest of the time. Anyway, so look, hopefully you're going to be like me and just get into the bunker and just avoid tomorrow. Get some beers. Just wait for the whole thing to blow over, because it's always unequivocally shit. Thanks a lot for watching.